Today we're going to talk about how a real estate professional helps you separate fact from fiction. If you're following the news, chances are you've seen or heard some headlines about the housing market that don't give the full picture. The real estate market is shifting, and when that happens, it can be hard to separate fact from fiction. That's where a trusted real estate professional comes in. They can help debunk the headlines so you can really understand today's market and what it means for you. Hi, I'm Amit Singh with ArignaTeam with Keller Williams Realty. Here are 3 common housing market myths you might be hearing, along with the expert analysis that provides better context. Myth number 1, home prices are going to fall. One piece of fiction many buyers may have seen or heard is that home prices are going to crash. That's because headlines often use similar but different terms to describe what's happening with prices. A few terminologies you might be seeing right now include appreciation, or an increase in home prices, depreciation, or a decrease in home prices, and deceleration, which is an increase in home prices but at a slower pace. The fact is, experts aren't calling for a decrease in prices. Instead, they forecast appreciation will continue, just at a decelerated pace. That means home prices will continue rising and won't fall. Selma Hub, Deputy Chief Economist at CoreLogic, explains, higher mortgage rates coupled with more inventory will lead to slower home price growth, but unlikely declines in home prices. Hey everyone, if you are getting value from the information, please like, share, and subscribe so you will be the first to be notified of any new videos. Myth number 2, the housing market is in a correction. Another common myth is that the housing market is in a correction. Again, that's not the case. Here's why. According to Forbes, a correction is a sustained decline in the value of a market index or the price of an individual asset. A correction is generally agreed to be a 10% to 20% drop in value from a recent peak. As mentioned above, home prices are still appreciating, and experts project that will continue just at a slower pace. That means the housing market isn't in a correction because prices aren't falling. It's just moderating compared to the last 2 years, which were record-breaking in nearly everywhere. Myth number 3, the housing market is going to crash. Some headlines are generating worry that the housing market is at a bubble ready to burst, but experts say today is nothing like 2008. One of the reasons why is because lending standards are very different today. Logan Mohshami, lead analyst of Housing Wire, explains, as recession talk becomes more prevalent, some people are concerned that mortgage credit lending will get much tighter. This typically happens in a recession. However, the notion that credit lending in America will collapse as it did from 2005 to 2008 couldn't be more incorrect, as we haven't had a credit boom in the period between 2008 to 2022. During the last housing bubble, it was much easier to get a mortgage than it's today. Since then, lending standards have tightened significantly, and purchasers who acquired a mortgage over the last decade are much more qualified than they were in the years leading up to the crash. Bottom line, no matter what you're hearing about the housing market, let's connect. The way you'll have a knowledge authority on your side that knows the ins and outs of the market, including current trends, historical context, and so much more.